It's been nearly 2 years since we've had to hear from the controversial head of America's pandemic response, Dr. Anthony Fauci. After he retired in December of 2022, though, he's received $15 million worth of Secret Service security paid for by you, the American taxpayer. And joining us now to discuss this is Open the Book's Deputy Policy Editor, Rachel O'Brien. Good morning to you, Rachel. Good to see you. You know, we haven't mentioned his name in a while, and now Dr. Fauci is a private citizen. So why does he get this expensive security detail at the expense of the American taxpayer?
Good morning, Jen. Yeah, so he's the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. We all know his name. He gets this security detail. It's a publicly funded chauffeur, and fully staffed U.S. Marshals are on the security detail. He said it's necessary because of threats he has received. And so someone in the U.S. Marshal's office has deemed that he's important enough to get this detail. So Open the Books found that it cost $15 million in less than 2 years. We got a copy of the agreement. It's from last year. I covered all of last year, 2023, and up until September this year, we asked the U.S. Marshal's office for the contract to ask if it's been extended. They haven't responded, but $15 million less than 2 years. It's really unclear why he gets this when other former personnel, don't.
Well, and you just mentioned private chauffeur. So it's not just somebody protecting him. They're also driving him around, as you said, and it's also using U.S. Marshals. Dr. Fauci is a millionaire. He was the highest paid federal employee when he was working during the pandemic. How much was he paid then, and what is he doing for work now?
Yeah, Open the Books found that he was the highest paid, more than the president. Like you said, when he retired in 2022, he was making over $480,000. And so Open the Books estimated his pension is about $350,000 a year. Last we checked, at the end of 2022, his household net worth was over $11 million. He also got $1 million prize in 2021 for his work during the pandemic. So since he retired in December 22, he published a memoir. We don't know how much money he's made off of that, but it's a New York Times bestseller. He's done a book tour with media interviews and talks, and he's accompanied by his taxpayer-funded chauffeur and security detail for all of these. He also works with Georgetown. He works at the School of Medicine at Georgetown as a distinguished professor. He's also affiliated with Georgetown's School of Public Policy. So we don't know what he's getting paid there, but he's certainly still making money.
Have any other retired federal officials received similar security details?
We could not find any other cases of former federal employees receiving this level of protection. It's unclear how unusual the arrangement is, but we can't find any. Obviously, former presidents and their spouses, they get Secret Service protection for the rest of their lives. But heads of federal agencies, we don't see any other examples. Even Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who Donald Trump just announced he wants to make him head of HHS. He requested Secret Service protection when he ran for president this year. 6 times. Right. He was denied.
He had to pay for it himself with his campaign money, right?
That's exactly right. He had to pay for it. He got death threats. He did not get this. And so, why does a presidential candidate get no protection, but a former federal employee get this? And so if this is an expense that taxpayers are going to have to pay for, we should have input, and Congress should vote on guidelines. It should not be arbitrary who's going to get it and who's not.
To your point, was this an executive order? Because if Congress did not vote for this, how was this just handed to him? Was it done through the executive branch?
No. There's no evidence of that. It's most likely was just a decision in house somehow, whoever determined. So for instance, when you're thinking about RFK, he was denied specifically. He asked the Biden administration, he asked Biden for this. He was denied that. In terms of Fauci, this is just a memorandum of understanding. This is an agreement, sort of a contract between Department of Health and Human Services and the U.S. Marshal Service. So it looks like the U.S. Marshal Service said, yeah, this guy's important enough in getting death threats. We're going to cover this. It doesn't look like the president was involved in.
But your point is that Congress should intervene and make these decisions.
There should be some guidelines. There should be some clear guidelines in who can qualify and who doesn't. So it's not arbitrary. It's not left up to some bureaucrats.
Open the Book's Deputy Public Policy Editor Rachel O'Brien. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on the National
Thanks.
News Desk. We appreciate it.